Well, hello everyone. My name is Barry Hughes, and if you're watching this training call, I welcome you. I'm a network marketer full-time, also a professional coach, leadership coach, and it's my pleasure today to talk to you about a few things. Really, I want to go over some misconceptions in the network marketing industry. And, this is going to give you an opportunity to really evaluate if you're someone who currently is maybe in a network marketing opportunity or have been in a network marketing opportunity, multi-level marketing. We can call it what it is. But if you're someone who's been a part of a business model, a home-based business model like that, and you found it hasn't worked for you, or maybe it worked okay, but you were promised or thought you were going to get to multi-millions of dollars or even five figures, maybe even $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever the situation might be for you. This training call is meant to really address you people, as well as anybody who's maybe looking at the network marketing industry as something that they want to look at maybe moving forward as a secondary income. Maybe it's going to be your primary income. For me, it started off as a part-time income that I turned into a full-time income while I had a full-time job. So, it can be done if you have the will. So today's topic is really going to be about this. It's entirely geared towards helping you, the end user of this program. So here we go. Today's topic is simple. It's the top 10 reasons why most people fail or aren't successful in network marketing opportunities, or home-based businesses for that matter. So the first thing I want to talk about is really the reason why they fail is because immediately at the outset, they put you in a position where you're not comfortable. Often people tell you to contact friends and family and people in your warm market, which we'll call a warm market. And a warm market can consist of lots of things. To me, a warm market is if someone says hello to me, then they qualify to hear what it is I do, because I can make most people ask me what it is I do within probably 30 seconds. I can get someone to say, well, what is it you do for a living, Barry? That's not going to be the purpose of this training call today, but what it will do is hopefully shed some light on you. If you're somebody who's been discouraged in the network marketing industry or home-based business, maybe you're someone who, thought it was going to be one way and it turned out to be an entirely different thing. Well, I'm here today to really relate well to you folks. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking to help some people. You've all heard my background to this point. I've been a multimillionaire in this industry over the last 4 years. I've been in network marketing 15 years. So it took me more than 10 years to perfect what it is I do part-time until I could really turn this into a full-time residual-based income type opportunity. And, we talked about the first thing that happens is, number one, you got to contact your friends and family. And you don't have to do that. But I always look at people this way, and I say to them, listen, if it's uncomfortable for you to ask your friends and your family and your associates if they were interested in making more money or interested in supporting you by becoming a customer of one of your products, then I find that to be a difficult concept to accept, because ultimately, I'll give you a prime example. If you and I were close friends and you showed up to my house, let's say 6 months from now, and you knew me as this one person over here, but within the 6 months time frame, I found myself in a financial situation that afforded me a lot more than what you maybe knew before this. So let's take this example. You show up to my place 6 months later, and there's a Porsche in my drive. When you walk in, the first thing you say is, Barry, whose Porsche is that? And I say, well, that's my Porsche. And you're a friend or a family member. And I don't ever tell you that things were going that well in my life. Would you not be a little bit upset? I would be. And I think most people would be. So I look at this as an opportunity for, if you've got to talk to friends and family, just be straight up. A lot of network marketers will tell you to be elusive. I don't believe in elusiveness. I believe in straight up, no BS, straight to the point. Let's call it like we see it. I tell people straight up, proud. I am part of a network marketing opportunity at its finest. And here's what I'm going to do. I give them my vision. And my vision is simple. This is what I'm going to accomplish. I lay it out. Is this something you'd be interested in partnering with me? I don't look at this as I'm an upline or a downline or a sideline or whatever line we want to call it. I look at partnerships. I think partnerships are more meaningful. And if you're in a partnership that's meaningful, where you feel valued and it's reciprocated, and you're in a group that has a common goal and cause, doesn't that mean more? Well, I think it does. And that's what I really wanted to stress, is that this isn't necessarily a friends and family opportunity. This is not an antiquated approach. Sure, we're going to have social media and attraction marketing and all those other components, and we're going to train and teach you all those things. But at the end of the day, this isn't just ask your friends and family and hope things work out. I treat this business like it's something I paid millions of dollars for, and I have to recover that money. And the only way I can recover that money is to help you. And the only way I can help you is if you're going to want to improve the business model that you believe in. And if you believe in network marketing and home-based businesses or passive income streams like I do, you can turn a part-time hobby into a full-time residual-based income if you just follow a few basic principles. I know many of you watching this might have been misled or hurt or been given visions of grandeur or the wrong perception of network marketing. And that's another top 10 reason why people fail in network marketing. They're given the wrong perception. They're made to feel like anyone can do it. It's easy. There's nothing to stop you if you're just driven and motivated to succeed. And I think that's really misleading and really not quite accurate. And I never tell anybody on my business model that's a partner to leave their job or do this or do that. I don't express visions of grandeur or exaggerate what could be done. I just simply state what can be done, because I'm a living proof. I'm an example of this. I was at one point broke 4 years ago. I had nothing. I was down 900,000 in debt. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep. I had a great income. Still found myself in massive debt. So part-time, I started to work on my future fortune. And it turned out to be that my part-time passion became my full-time passion. And here I am today now, offering it to so many people. I've already helped hundreds and hundreds of people realize six-figure incomes yearly in the industry. That's why things have gone well for me. And I simply want to share what's happened and help you get what you want. And part of giving 10 reasons why network marketing fail, maybe you fall into one of these categories. If you do fall into one of these categories, let me help you. It's real simple. You believe in the business model. You got in to the opportunity, given that you had some hope and you were starting to dream again. You thought, this may be an out for me to help my family or for me to help live the life I want, whatever it might be. It still can be, but I think you need to be led in the right way. So one of the things I wanted to discuss was the visions of grandeur, the exaggerated opinion of a lot of people on what you can attain in network marketing. It is not easy, but it is possible if you follow some simple principles that I'm going to show you on a day-to-day basis. It's not an antiquated building strategy. We can combine, I believe now in the current network marketing industry, as we know it today, the real secret sauce is simple. We need to take all of the devices and tools available to us. We need to utilize social media. Many, many different platforms are there. And it's not so much as just say, okay, go out and use them and attach your link everywhere. There's a way to do this. Again, I can show you that. It's not an antiquated thing by talking to friends and family, but why wouldn't you talk to everybody possible and attract them to some notions? For example, if I said to you, you won't believe how much weight I've lost just changing one simple thing a day. Wouldn't you be compelled to ask me, well, what's that one simple thing you did to make you lose all the weight? Well, did you eat? Did you have a supplement? What was it that caused you to lose all the weight, right? So that's an attraction marketing example that you could utilize. It might seem antiquated, but it's really not, because you're eliciting a response. Once somebody says, Barry, tell me about that. Tell me about how you lost weight just changing one thing a day. You've now invited me to explain to you my opportunity, haven't you? So it's really sometimes how you say what you say, not just what you say. And hopefully that makes sense. Another bad habit, another reason why network marketing people fail is because in their first few days, they experience maybe a couple negative responses, or the phone gets really heavy. It's so hard to pick up and make the call because you're afraid of what? What other people are going to think of you? See, we're all concerned about how we appear to others. What other people think of us if we're going to give them a business opportunity? I look at this as a blessing. If I'm inviting you to be part of my team, I'm someone who's made millions of dollars, and I've got a formula, I've got a system, it's proven. I'm not pretending that this may or may not happen for people. It is happening for people. But if I invite you to listen or hear about an opportunity or to have a serious business discussion, isn't that flattering to you? Isn't that something that if you're inviting someone and you care about them enough to say, hey, bind with me, join me, be a part of something special here. Let's lift people up. Unlike your jobs where people are quick to tell you what you're doing wrong, in this industry, we're going to lift you up. We're going to teach you how to say and do the right things and how to be an impactful leader for people. But when people start at the beginning and they got to make a few phone calls or they got to contact a few people, for whatever reason, it gets difficult. And I believe this comes down to a lot of other things like self-limited beliefs, maybe fear of failure, fear of success, even for some of you. There's a lot of different elements that can come into play here, but ultimately it comes down to something simple. It's procrastination. You procrastinate. You develop a bad habit of not taking action because we're afraid that the water's going to be too cold or the oven's going to be too hot to touch. But in reality, it's your own belief systems that are getting in the way. You are in the way of you. Imagine that. You're in the way of yourself in many regards. Maybe you're past that point, and if that isn't you, then this might not apply. But do you watch your favorite show? You know, a lot of people will give me the same reason. I don't have any time. There's no time for me to put this into my life. Well, I can tell you this, doing what you're doing right now, if you expect a different result, tell me what's going to change. The next year is your boss can all of a sudden say, you know what, Jim, you've been a really good guy. Here, take my job. It makes more than you make, and I'd like to see you do a little better. Is that reality? Probably not. I like to think the other way. You can take charge and control of your own life. But procrastination and developing bad habits and choosing programs or shows or excuses for why the job doesn't get done isn't going to ever work. And these are the types of people who often can fail in network marketing. They're not knowingly procrastinating. They're not doing it because it's something that's conscious to them and something that they want to self-sabotage their own business with. They're doing it because they lack the security to not take action. Because really, when it comes down to it, afraid of what others will think, and so they procrastinate. Another major reason why people don't succeed in network marketing, it's real simple. There's no goal set. See, when I bring someone into the business as my partner, the first thing I do is ask them, well, how much money do you want to make? How much time can you dedicate to this? What's your attitude like? Do you consider yourself a leader? Why do you consider yourself a leader? Are you capable of leading large groups? Why do you think you are capable? Do you not think you're capable? If you don't think you're capable of leading a group, why don't you think you're capable? Because ultimately, to really be a top earner in the network marketing space, you have to have leadership qualities about you. If you don't have leadership qualities, it's going to be difficult for people to follow you in the program. We create platforms for people to succeed with, but those platforms involve you and the sponsor in a reciprocal manner. You've got to be able to work with each other and ideally develop goals that are attainable. And I always talk to people at the very beginning when they're first getting going. I say, listen, let's talk about what you want from this. Then I talk to them about, well, why do you want it? And we've all heard that. And that can be very cliche as well, to be fair. People who say, you know, your why, if it doesn't make you cry, isn't strong enough. And that could be true. But it doesn't necessarily make it absolutely true. You know, your why can be strong without making you cry. And your why is going to evolve. Like, why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to give your family a better life? Why do you want to go on that vacation? Why do you want to have more money coming into your household? See, these are all relevant questions. And then when the answers to those questions start coming in, there's going to be even better questions to ask, because why, the first response you're going to give me, is never going to be the answer. If you want to have a talk just about why, we can do that all day long. I'll be happy to have a chat with you about what your why is. And by the end of the talk, you're gonna think that your why is absolutely different at the end of the call than it was at the start of the call, because we're gonna really dig deep and explore what matters to you, because that's what business is all about. What matters to you? What do you want to get from it? And what price are you willing to pay to get it? Essentially, right? That's what it comes down to. What do you want? What are you willing to pay? Nothing's free. That's why when people who paint exaggerated versions of what network marketing can provide are just that, they're exaggerators. And that's not reality for most people. Most people don't have a skill set to speak publicly. They need to develop it. I didn't have a natural affinity to speak in front of large crowds, and I have spoken in front of thousands and thousands of people. But I was nervous. I was afraid. I didn't know if I could do it. I was, again, beaten up through my life from self-limited belief patterns. And it's not your fault. Folks, we're taught to be this way. Think back to when you're first going to kindergarten and you're a young child and you line up. What's the first thing they teach you when you go to kindergarten? Line up in a perfect row. Everybody get in line. How do you know when to get in line? The bell rings. Let's herd everybody in a perfectly straight line. Sometimes maybe you're even told you got to hold hands with somebody. And you're 5 years old, right? So get in line. Then you're told, sit in this specific spot. You don't get to pick your spot. You're told where to sit. Then you're told when you can go to the washroom. You're told when you can have a snack. You're told when you can go out and play. And they're all reminding you with the buzzer, the bang, or the bell, right? So we're conditioned, folks. We're conditioned to have limited beliefs from the get-go. You're supposed to get a job, work for 40 years, and try to retire on 40% of what you're struggling to live on now. That's the model the world set up for you. That's why I got into network marketing, because I hated the model. Goal setting is important. We've got to attach our goals to our drive, to our time, to a work commitment, and time needs to be spent to do this. It's not something you can just quickly write down or mention. This is something that you have to pay attention to. The next major flaw I think that people get into is false expectations. I think people often run into a garden. This is sometimes happens for experienced network marketers. People who've done this before a couple of times. It took me 4 companies to hit it big. 4. So is that you? How many have you been involved? And often you feel so disloyal if you have to move on. But sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes a fresh start's what's needed. Change, excitement. But it took me 4. But I remember a few of the times, if I'm fair and I want to reflect back to it, that sometimes I did have a false expectation. And that's another flaw, one of the top 10 flaws that network marketers make. One of the biggest mistakes they make is to have a false expectation of what's going to happen. You see, if I come to you with a miracle product, something that's going to blow your socks off and you're going to resonate with, and then that product doesn't deliver that, are you really all in still? Or have you now decided that maybe this isn't for you? You know, maybe you can't stand behind the product anymore. So your original piece of the pie where you got into this business is maybe because you were curious. Turns into maybe belief if there's a positive product experience. Now you're believing this. Not only are you curious, but you're believing it now. And then you talk to a few people and they get in with you. They're partnering with you. And then they bring a few people and they partner with you. Well, now you've got conviction, right? You believe this with all your heart. But what happens if something goes off the tracks in between there? Does that mean that you're not going to be able to be successful? Absolutely not. You see, there's many ways to look at a business model. And I'll give you a prime example. If there was a product and it was guaranteed to fix high blood pressure, right? And you have high blood pressure. Why wouldn't you try it, right? And you immediately think, well, if it's going to fix high blood pressure and it's all natural and there's no GMOs and there's no lactose and there's no this or that because we're all allergic to everything now, that'd be worth a try. But then you try it and it doesn't work for you after the first few weeks. Do you quit? Because a lot of people do. But what if over on the other side it didn't work for you, but over here, there's literally thousands of people that that product's working for? Do you need it to work for you personally to know that it is a product that actually works for the majority of people? Nothing works for everybody carte blanche. We all know that. So setting a false expectation for yourself at the beginning that everybody's going to love my product, everybody's going to jump on board with me. How can't they see this vision? They don't, for whatever reason. And it only sometimes takes 1 ounce of discouragement from somebody that matters to somebody else to shake the tail and change things in a negative way. And I think that's tragic when it happens, because how dare somebody steal your dream from you? How dare they? You know, I always talk to people when they bring somebody brand new into the business model. I mentor them this way. I say, if you thought enough of them to ask them to spend some money to join your business model, then how dare you not lead them in the right way? Give them a fighting chance to succeed here. Because so many people, if this is you, yeah, Joe, get in. This is going to be awesome. We're going to get rich. Woo! Right? That's how it sometimes is delivered. And then you get in and you never hear from Joe again. That was the one call he made, was to you to get you in. And then after he got his fast car bonus, bye-bye, Joe, he's out of here. And I'm using Joe hypothetically, obviously. Self-limited beliefs are another tragic flaw. Again, guys, if you're the type of person, I'll give you a prime example of what a self-limited belief pattern is. You and I are walking down the street together, and we're excited. We're having a great day. The sun's shining. It's gorgeous. And we're just talking about life in general. And all of a sudden, the most beautiful Porsche you've ever seen in your life drives by. And you look at me and say, I'll never be able to afford that car. You know anybody like that? I used to be that guy. But I can promise you this. That's a self-limited belief that's been ingrained in you. It's not your fault. If that's you, we can help fix that. That's a fixable thing. We just need to mentor you and coach you and provide some leadership for you. See, I believe most of you are just this much away from achieving the same things in this industry that I have. You're just this much away. The missing element is you don't have maybe somebody who's willing to go the extra mile with you and for you. And that's where I come into play. I'm the guy who is willing to do that. Why? Because I don't have a financial concern anymore. My life is taken care of now. And now I dedicate my life. My kids are out of the house. I'm a young 54-year-old guy who gets a complete buzz out of helping other people. It wasn't always that way, because at one point, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was worrying about how I was going to pay my mortgage until it actually did foreclose. Then I didn't have to pay a mortgage because I lost my house. As tragic as that was, it really, really catapulted me into the person that I knew I could become, because I had to sink to rock bottom. And for me, that happened a few years ago. But within 14 months, I was a millionaire. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being destitute or being in a position where you were paycheck to paycheck and things weren't going for you? And then all of a sudden, 14 months later, you were living the life of dreams, and the car that drove by like a Porsche, you'd go, I'm going to have that. And then it happens. Guys, I'm not into necessarily material things. I had nice cars and I've gotten rid of them. I drive a Ford F-150 pickup truck. Now, why? Because I like to drive it. And I don't actually drive that often. I actually fly most of the places that I go. Anything over 2 hours, I get on a plane. I'm not going to spend my life in a car. I do sometimes intentionally do that because I want to see the world too. But you can see it from the air just as nice sometimes. So self-limited belief patterns is a tragic flaw that most people unconsciously are subjected to on a day-to-day basis, unless you have accountability partnerships where they're really caring about you. It's hard to always know that you're following that path or that you're going down that road, which leads me to another magic flaw seamlessly, right? You don't have the right training. What type of training are you getting in your current opportunity or your past opportunities? I provide trainings every week, and they're meaningful. They're about things that are going to help you grow as a person and help your team grow and help your business grow. Because ultimately, that's what it's all about. This business is a simple, simple business when you break it down into the simple, simple things that it really is. It's who qualifies to be mentored by you in a process that helps them get what they want. How do I help you get what you want? If I do a bang up job of that and I really set the stage for you and you are able to start to achieve things in your life that you didn't really think were possible, and then slowly but surely you climb the rung and you start making money that is full-time money and a part-time effort, And then whether you work or not the next month, the money still comes. That's residual based income or royalty. If you get yourself to the point where that's starting to happen, it's magical. And when you help other people find that magic, life changes for them forever. They'll always believe in you and trust you because you cared enough to take them to a place that they didn't first think they could go. Welcome to my team, because that's what I do. It's all I do. It's all I live to do, is to help other people get what they want. Guys, proper training is the conduit to just about every success story. I've had trainers, I've had many, many different mentors. I could name them, but I'm not going to. But they were significant individuals in my life who've meant a lot to me. Some I've left in the past. Some are people who I still am grateful for the leadership they've given me, and the training that I got. The opportunity previous to this one, I believe fully, was the training ground to let me springboard into this opportunity. But I had to be willing to leave it. See, I see so many companies out there where they've got a grip on you. You feel like if you leave, you're betraying somebody. You're not betraying somebody. If you think there's a better opportunity for you to succeed and you to take your team that you have already and give them a better fighting chance of succeeding, why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you at least have a conversation about it? Because I'm not saying bolt from everything at the first opportunity of dissension or a problem that might occur. But I am saying you should always have your radar on, always have your eyes open, and always have your ears ready to listen. Because listening to another opportunity is free. There's no cost. I learned that a lot of times. I get pitched an opportunity every day, and every time I do, I'm grateful. I say, thank you for thinking of me. I feel very flattered that you did. But I'm not open right now to another opportunity, right? I'm looking for people who are open to another opportunity, who believe in the network marketing or home-based industry, but they haven't found a way to make it happen in a meaningful way for themselves yet. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who want this as bad as I want it for you, right? Not, I can't want it more than you want it for you, though, because that happens too. There's another flaw of network marketers. This is a flaw of leadership, actually. The coach who cares more than the player is a problem. Because if I want you to succeed more than you want you to succeed, we have a disconnect and we generally have an effort issue. Proper training, guys. I have training methods that are tried, tested, and true. I give them to you when you come to my business. It's free. I don't charge you. Why? Because I make my paycheck based on your paycheck. What a novel concept. The better I do at helping you, the more money I make. The better you do at helping other people, the more money you make. That is the opposite of your jobs. If you do a great job at work, they're just going to ask you to do more for the same pay the next time. I know, because I was in pharmaceutical sales. I was a teacher before that. I've lived in the corporate world. I know what it means. This is way better because you get to decide your hours. You get to never miss your kids' play or sporting event. You get to never miss anything if you don't want to because you can structure your day. Guys, it leads me to another area of training that's really deeply involved, which is personal growth habits. This is something that changed my life, personal growth habits, and I've studied them all. Some of my favorites are John C. Maxwell. I really just like his delivery. Gary Vee, there's a lot of different people out there. I've listened to them all too. Tony Robbins, there's a ton. And many, many, many of them provide valuable insight. Lots of times, what they're really doing is just teaching the same exact concept with their own style and flair and adding a couple twists to it. And that's great. I think they're all wonderful people because at the end of the day, they're helping you get over hurdles of self-limited beliefs and other issues. And, whether you believe that or not is not really relevant. What's relevant is if you do believe in it, it gives you a chance. Gives you a chance to make something happen, positive for yourself. And if you don't, then probably not a lot's going to change, really, realistically, right? Guys, personal growth and development. It is taking time every day for you. Have you ever heard that notion before where somebody says, I need to take more time for myself? That doesn't always mean just going to get a haircut or get your nails done or get a pedicure or maybe just go for a walk or go to the gym or whatever it might be. Sometimes taking time for you is taking time to learn more about you. Dig deep. Find out what's going on inside. You know, what are you really thinking? What really are your holdups? What really angers you, or what really has you excited? Or any number of things like that, right? We can go limitless versions of what this might look like. Why not read up on it? Why not try to help yourself out a little bit? Give yourself a fighting chance. Who knows you better than you? Your mother probably will tell you she does, but you know yourself the best. The question is, are you willing to be truthful with yourself? Are you really willing to be totally brutally honest with yourself? Guys, I could go on. There's more than 10 reasons why you can't do well in network marketing. You might have no ambition. Maybe you have no sense of urgency. Maybe there's untested systems that you're trying to employ that really don't have any merit. You know, maybe you don't have a servant mentality. Maybe you're not somebody who really truthfully helps people. Maybe you're somebody who says, I help people, and I'm into that, but maybe you truthfully don't really help people. And that's okay. Maybe you've never been shown how to help somebody the right way in this business. See, if you haven't made any money in network marketing, are you really qualified to train people to make money in network marketing? I don't know. I'm not here to judge that. But if you're somebody who's made $500 in network marketing, maybe you've made 1,000, maybe you've made 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month. I know I can help you because I was you. I was the guy who was making a little bit. And I always say to myself, you know, I looked at it like this business was an elevator. And I'm going up an elevator, and my whole goal is to get to the penthouse, to the where all the big kids play. You know, that's where I really wanted to be. And I'm going up and I'm going up, and I finally get out to the top, and I get out of the elevator, and I realize that across the hall there's actually one more elevator, and you need to know the secret code, the password to get on it, to go up to where the real true networkers are. And I never knew the password. And I'm here to tell you right now, the password is you. It's you that's in the way. You know the code. You just have to take it out of the middle of the depths of your body and pull it out and be willing to self-discover what the right answers are. If you're willing to go there with me, maybe a complete stranger, I think you'll find you'll like me. I'm a good guy. I'm a fun guy. But if you've got to be willing to go there yourself, and if you are willing to go there and you really want to give this a fair shot, let's talk. That's going to be free. Talking is free. Listening is free. And that's all I have time for right now. I want to talk and listen and help you out. I know how to do this, folks. I'm proven. I'm not like everybody else out there. I'm straight up. I'm not a game player. I'm not looking for this. I don't even need to do this anymore. But here I am. Why am I going to do it then? Because I got nothing better to do. I'm 54 years old. I travel the world anyway. I can do this from a hotel room in Bora Bora. I can do this from Tokyo. I can do this from my hometown here in Canada. I can do this anywhere. So why not do something meaningful with the rest of my life versus nothing and collect the check? To me, that makes no sense. Guys, top 10 reasons. We don't have a simple system. We have antiquated building strategies. We don't have personal growth habits. We either procrastinate or have bad habits, so we don't get the job done. We're not prepared. We don't have goals. We have the wrong perception of the industry because somebody's built it up. We have a lack of true leadership skills because they weren't taught in this space. You might be a great leader in another job, but in this space, unless you truly led a large team, do you have the skill set? I don't know, but I'm willing to help you. You give up early because maybe somebody's negative. You have false expectations because somebody's planted false expectations in your head. And that's the way you think it's supposed to be, because if they said it, it's true. Just like Google. If you find it on Google, it must be true. Not. Google's like a bathroom wall, right? You can write on it and it's there for everybody to read. Doesn't mean it's true. Self-limited beliefs. And you don't have the proper training. These are some of the various reasons. I think I listed 12 there. It was the top 10, but I get going on things. I like to talk to people about how they can change their lives. If that's you, I want to be the first to welcome you to my team as a partner. not as just a number. Thank you so much for your time today. It's Barry Hughes. I look forward to seeing you soon.